right, very nice, very evil.
Yeah, that's tag shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really...
What up, ladies and gentlemen of the Tag Nation? It is the Fatal 4-Way of the IWC here to bring this hot tag of course. Let me get to it. That AEW Full Gear that was Saturday night. But just to go ahead and give y'all these introductions for those who may not know, and for the uninitiated, you have the current. Go ahead and show off that beautiful title there. But you have the current who retained his championship with predictions. Mr. Tag in the Bank and current Tag Predictions champions. And forgive me because I've been listening to that Kendrick Lamar all weekend. So to give shout outs, we got Lil Dizzle.
That's right.
And of course, below me with the Jay White-esque hair flowing, switchblade style, we got the heartthrob of the IWC, Jaeger. And below the champ, we got the Kansas City Chiefs fan himself. Look at it. He is KC'd out. He got the hat. He got the shirt. He got the banner. Like he just KC'd out. And them boys pulled out the dub today.
Barely. Hey, listen, them Chiefs, we're not looking good right now, but at least we got the win this week. And also, I am also the Forbidden Door. The Forbidden Door is
and he's also the Forbidden Door. All of them good things. We got that boy, Jugger! Not. And then, of course, you have myself. You have myself, the one and only, the man of many names, Scooter! All right, gentlemen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quite dangerous.
Once again, the amount of times that I've been listening to GNX this past weekend is crazy.
Mustard!
All right, gentlemen. AEW Full Gear. Before we get into the ins and outs of everything, how we feeling about the PPV altogether? How we feeling?
You know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna have to go on a bit of a tangent. So
okay, well, you know what? Well, since we're gonna wait until we get into it, we're gonna go ahead and do it. We're gonna fly through it. 0 hour, match 1, Anna Jay, Deonna Purrazzo. Anna Jay gets the dub.
Good for her.
I am still wondering what's up with the booking in AEW, especially with the women. I don't understand this whole stop-start shit. But
yeah, congrats
to Anna Jay. Big dubs. Next up, Fatal 4-Way, Dante Martin versus Commander versus Buddy Matthews versus Beats Mortos. Buddy Matthews gets the dub.
Oh, brother.
I did not know what in the fuck was happening this whole time with this thing until I recently saw it on the internet. But we had Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall. Big Boom AJ wins. Thank you, Excalibur, for also telling me who Big Boom AJ and Big Justice and the Rizzler and all that shit was. But hey, I'm gonna just say this before we get to the main card. You AEW loyalists, don't y'all ever speak on WWE shit again, okay? If WWE was to have done this then today, y'all would have eviscerated them. So I don't want to hear shit. Okay? Not a fucking thing. But all right. Getting into the main show, the meat and potatoes. The first match was for the AEW Tag Team Championships in a fatal 4-way match. You had the Champs Private Party defending against the Kings of the Black Throne, which is still one of the best tag team names ever. Brody Lee and Malachi Black. You got the youngest men alive, the Outrunners, and you have a very dysfunctional The Acclaim. All right, gentlemen. I ain't mean to take that away. But all right, gentlemen. Take it away. Thoughts on the Fatal 4-Way. Private Party's first title defense.
I gotta say, it was your typical multi-man tag team match. I mean, I gotta tell you this: the King, Brody King, he was looking really good in this match. Malachi, he was looking great. Some of the big stuff I took away from this match is like you said with Max Cassidy and
Bowens
and Anthony Bowens. How dysfunctional they are. Seeing them take the pin. They're take the gin and juice from Private Party. They retained their titles here. Also, they got their old themes back. Which I'm happy they got their old theme song back.
You know what? I noticed that too. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
That didn't sound like the other thing, but I did notice that too.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fine match, I just hate how it was put in a Fatal 4-Way match here, because like, who else now does Private Party have left to face? Because I mean, they could run it back. They could face Outrunners again. They can. It feels like maybe the Kings of the Black Thrones might be splitting up. It seems like maybe they might go on to do separate runs. But yeah, it seems like the Acclaim. Yeah, they're this. Who is it? Max Caster. I think he might be joining the
Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate. Yeah, but I mean, it was just an average match here.
I mean, just said it best. Unless y'all got something else, he said it best.
No, he pretty much covered everything. I think spot on. The main thing about it is that the match itself was necessary for Private Party, but the match as a whole was completely unnecessary.
I mean, it progressed the Acclaim story a little bit.
I do not give a shit about the Acclaim's story because the thing is, this goes to that start-stop shit that continues to happen because you played on it before, left it alone, reset, went back to everything being okay, and then now you're back at it again, where you've had plenty of moments where you could have easily just pulled the trigger on it and then done it. But the problem, and you know what? I'm just gonna do it now. Here's the issue. The issue with AEW. The issue with AEW is that thank you, Loki.
Thank you, Loki.
The issue with AEW is the fact that they do not have a creative team that I deem as reliable, because the problem is, as much as we loved AEW on its startup because they were the indie darling. Everybody who enjoyed the indies, everybody who enjoyed either New Japan, Ring of Honor, GCW to an extent, anything, Rev Pro, if we take it that MLW, all of them. Everybody knows that all of these wrestlers can go in the ring. There is no question. We understand that. The problem here is when AEW made the decision to basically go mainstream and compete with WWE, you can't just compete on an in-ring level, because at a certain point, you're going to have to come with something extra to the table. Because the thing is, if everybody in the industry can go, what do you have that's going to make you stand out? And here's the problem. When AEW came into play, everybody was looking for something different, an alternative to the mainstream, and that's because WWE had Vince McMahon to deal with. And now that you have Triple H, who was basically kicking AEW's ass with NXT Black and Gold, mind you, now Triple H is helming the main show. So now that Triple H is helming the main show and treating it like NXT Black and Gold, AEW is now showing its flaws.
And to piggyback off of your point, Jug said something in pre-production that how is WWE about to look with Netflix, considering he said more people have Netflix than Peacock.
Absolutely unhinged. because now they will not have the handcuffs. And so all the stuff that AEW was doing when they first started up that WWE wasn't doing, everybody was like, oh man, they said this, they said that. WWE now will basically be able to do whatever Pat McAfee wants to do and or say on TV. So the thing is, it's like now you have WWE who now are not going to have any handcuffs, going to be able to do whatever they want to do, and AEW is going to have to compete with that.
Yep.
So Tony Khan is going to have to figure out a way to not just allow the wrestlers to do what they want to do, but allow creative to do what they do, or at least hire a team of people who want to do what they can do. So that way, everybody on the roster can earn their paycheck, because everybody's getting paid to do exactly what it is that they can do and that they did on the indies. But since this is a TV show on public syndicated television, you need to do public syndicated television shit.
Facts.
Like story, dialogue, character. Everybody can't just be there standing around twiddling their thumbs and then waiting for a match to happen and then it be done from bell to bell and then nothing. And matter of fact, this was the other issue that I had with the pay-per-view, is that again with AEW, every single time it's match. There's nothing that builds up to anything else, because they rely too much on Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage to build story, and nothing happens on the pay-per-view.
Mainly Dynamite and Collision, because Rampage be just.
And listen, and to be honest, nobody really watches Collision like that anymore. Like, you know, the only reason what really got me into Collision in the first place was like CM Punk at the beginning, and then when CM Punk was gone, like I don't really care much about Collision anymore. And
if I'm not doing nothing on Saturday, I usually tune in. But
see, the problem with AEW right now is like you said, you know, the inconsistency with like booking. Like one minute you start something with a wrestler, then you stop something. Like 1 minute like they're a babyface, and the next minute they come back as a heel. It's like the very inconsistency, like with the booking. And there was someone said this last night. I'd rather have Vince Russo writing this stuff. Like for real. Like I'd rather have Vince Russo writing AEW.
You know what? I'm going to tentatively agree with you on that, because it's one of the things where it's like, at least you're getting a story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, oof, Vince Russo.
AEW wants to bring in more fans. They need to cater to the casual fans. You know, they need to build a story. Like they already have all this hardcore fans. You know, they already have all this reeled in. Okay, you know, like we're watching like every single pay-per-view. We're watching these, you know, these Dynamites, these Collisions. We can care less about Rampage. Anyways, I think Rampage is going to be turned into, was it Shockwave in January or something like that?
Some shit like that, yeah.
It's basically going to be Rampage 2.0. But yeah, like they already have all this hardcore fans pulled in. They need to bring in the casual fans. They need to make these storylines, and they haven't been building up these stories. I mean, they've been building up some stories, but like most of these matches last night, they didn't have much of a story to them. Like they were this,
you know, what?
They were cool matches and all, but there was really no story to it.
So Dizzle is going to get the reference. I don't know if y'all two going to get it. I mean, y'all might remember the GM mode games. I mean, remember the WWE games in the early 2000s with the GM mode, and remember how your weekly shows would be kind of stagnant, but then you throw everything at the pay-per-view and hope you could get some fans and get some money. That's what happens.
Yeah,
that's what happens. You get a few things here and there that happens on Rampage and Dynamite and Collision, but for the most part, you try to just hold on to the next pay-per-view where you could just throw everything at it, and then next thing you know, it's like okay,
this
we good again.
You know what's good? You're right. It's this is how TK has been booking AEW.
Yes, he's
been playing GM mode with AEW since its inception. But he was But the problem is that he was so good in the beginning because he was fantasy booking. He had all these plans lined up in the very beginning. It's like when you have a big old poster board for that project you're doing, and you start writing in big letters and everything. You get to the very end, it's like you can't fit everything right there. It's basically put all his stuff right here. And then by the time he got close to like when he was running out of stuff, he had nothing else to put there because everything that he had was just so minuscule. So he relied on nothing but the in-ring work. All right, my rant's over. I mean, I'll get into more stuff as we go into it. But
I mean, because if we want to keep talking about inconsistencies, the next match of the night, we had MJF versus Roderick Strong. Now, for those who are unaware, this match came about because when Cole finally showed back up, of course Cole wanted his match with MJF. MJF been, oh my god, which I am so tired of MJF with the whole rinse and repeat of, if you want to face me, you have to pass my trials. Like, I am so fucking sick of this. But Cole wanted to fight MJF. Out the blue, Roderick Strong wanted to fight MJF. So now MJF was like, well, hey, if y'all win 3 matches each straight, then y'all can face me at Full Gear. Roddy won his 3. Cole lost his last one to Kesha. So here we are. And it was like, I didn't care.
I
didn't care.
Yeah.
Especially since we all knew Max was going to win.
And it's sad, I don't care about MJF match. Like that's kind of sad because I was hoping that we was gonna get the blow off here with MJF and Adam Cole, but it seems like we're gonna get that more towards what's that,
World's End or something.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, with
why
this,
do we need to? Oh, go ahead.
I thought that they were going to extend this whole feud by having MJF and Adam Cole go at it, but then have it to where Roddy and the Undisputed Kingdom maybe turn on him to extend it to where then he starts facing them up until like a World's End, and then you get that match between the two. But just like Scoot said, out of the blue with Roddy, when you get this part of the match where it ends the way that it did, it's like, okay, well, what is the actual plan? What is the reason for prolonging all of this? Because again, nothing really makes sense story-wise. Because again, when you think about last year, MJF babyface, Adam Cole heel, and then you do the flip, and it's just like,
I mean, Jug said it. One day you walk out as a heel, the next day you wake up, hey, I'm a face.
It's just, yeah, man.
Maybe it's a slower burn on the turn on Adam Cole. Like, I think maybe MJF's going to be like making that point to Kyle O'Reilly, and I guess more so to Roddy too. But just like, you see, like, he keeps on sending y'all at me and can't face me himself. Like, why is he getting y'all in trouble? Why is he getting y'all hurt? Why is he getting y'all this and that? I mean, Kyle O'Reilly was already shoving him down, like yelling at him at the end of that match.
Well, side note to that, they got to figure out what the hell to do with Kyle O'Reilly, because I just
Facts.
I woke up with the conglomeration and all that. Like, at this point, I'm kind of tired of the conglomeration.
The Job Squad.
The Job Squad.
It's a better version of the Job Squad
2.0.
Because
I feel bad they just don't have anything for Tomohiro Ishii. They have to put him in that.
It's a faction for faction's sake, is what it is. Now, when I say Job Squad, that's no disrespect to any of the guys there.
They're more of the union.
You know what? Yes.
They're more of the union.
They are more of the union, because the union made sense but didn't make sense. So,
and also this benefits Mark Briscoe more than it does, and like really anybody else in this whole faction. To be honest,
it benefits Mark Briscoe. It benefits him because you can tell he's, unfortunately, due to circumstances, rest in peace, Jay, he's getting used to being on his own, but he was always had his brother. So now he still has people to play off of. But at the end of the day, that's the only person who's really shining from this group is Mark, because of his promo skills and things like that. But otherwise,
that's a true point.
I mean, and Cassidy to an extent.
And Cassidy was gonna be Cassidy. Like
you know what?
Cassidy
right.
with anybody. Like Cassidy could have been with Dark Order at this point, and he still would have been Cassidy. Sorry, Dark Order. But MJF gets the dub. He attacks Roddy. People pissed off at Cole. And there you go. Speaking of more inconsistencies with weird booking, the next match for the TBS Championship, you have the champ Mercedes Moné defending against Chris Statlander. And I do ask you, gentlemen, what the fuck was the point of Statlander turning on Whitlow for 2 months later to become a good guy?
All right, I'm gonna tell you what the point was. This is the only time I'm gonna give Stokely some props.
Oh shit. Wait, Stat. This is a monumental.
Hey, yo, Stat. Stokely got you dressing right.
Facts.
So that was the point of
that was the point.
That was the point, because that's why it was a quick turnaround. You know, you had to go in, strip all that original alien stuff off, and then she came back as Chris Stat. Gotta say it with some bass in your voice.
Yeah, you gotta say it with some bass now.
So but now back to this match though. I don't know what the storyline point of any of the BS with Stokely was, because for her to get, now you know what, we're just gonna keep coining this shit. Thanks, Jugs. She had woke up a hill, went back to sleep, woke up a babyface, and decided to pick a fight with Camille, that then transitioned to a fight with Mercedes. The storyline for this was
that's basically what happened. Yeah.
complete trash of a storyline. Now, and this is where you start to see the mistakes of just how good WWE is at masking certain things, because we all know, and Mercedes, love you, still very fantastic of an in-ring performer, but oh man, your promo skills are just dumpster juice. Again,
yeah, it's bad.
No disrespect in any way, shape, or form. But as an avid watcher of professional wrestling since the age of, I would say, 7, I'm able to notice these things from seeing it for so long. And when promo is shit, it's shit. Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, insert other person here. There are people that need to be put with other people in order for them to look good. When WWE had Mercedes and had her as Sasha, she was able to kind of stand on her own to an extent, because she was able to play off of other people who could speak well. Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, Naomi, all of these other people that were basically her counterparts in all of this did most of the talking. Do not believe me? Go back and check everything in WWE and test if I'm lying, because anytime that she did have any speaking roles, they were very minimal.
And also,
because anytime, go ahead, go Jokes.
She probably had more of a script also in WWE. Tony Khan probably lets most of them go out there, go like, "Hey, you say whatever you want on the mic."
Just make sure you mention these certain talking points.
Now, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because here is the key point. She does her own creative in AEW.
That's why it's shit.
Now, is the presentation okay? Absolutely. Does she look fine? Absolutely. Is she good in the ring? Absolutely. The only problem is when you sit there and you give her 10 minutes on the mic by herself. What?
Hey,
That's rough.
hey,
The drizzling
hey.
hits.
For those who've been listening to the Kendrick album, what did he say? Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off.
And this is one of the only reasons why she's getting so much heat is because, again, AEW is showing a lot of its flaws. And so when you allow certain things to happen without anybody micromanaging certain things, you end up showing your ass. And this is one of the situations here. So if nobody knows why Mercedes is getting a bunch of heat, this is why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now look at it like this, the comparison. Think about everything. Anytime you saw her doing stuff in Japan when she left WWE, she was getting praised up and down. Do you want to know why, people? I will answer that for you. It's because they never once showed her just talking and doing promos. Anytime you saw her, she was doing in-ring stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now, the good stuff. This match was fantastic.
Yeah. You know what?
I don't like how the match. I don't like how the match ended by a roll up.
I will say that after sitting through 5 matches that was kind of I will say, yeah, this was the first one that it was like, okay, now I'm interested.
Yes.
I was a little interested, so I will give you that. I would
say that the match went on a little too long for my liking. Like they gave it about damn near 20 minutes for this match.
That's what we discussed in pre-production.
She needed it and Stat needed it too.
Well, in pre-production, Dizzle, we will ask you, what do you feel is the good amount of time for a pay-per-view or a PLE?
Yeah.
It depends on the story.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on the story, because if you have, let's say, a Mox and Orange Cassidy match that goes like 10 minutes, like this Mox, and you have that match go 10 minutes, right? And Mox is completely dominating the majority of that match because of show how dominant it is. It's for the story. It makes sense given the context of everything. For this match, for me, it was 2 things. One, it was to basically remind everybody just who Mercedes is, because just like you said, Scoot, the past few matches that she's had has been god awful due to, I don't know if it was due to the fact that there was, a miscommunication between the person that she was wrestling or just the chemistry in general. But with this, it's really hard to have a bad match with Chris Statlander. And that is no question. So this was not to squash Chris. This was to actually say that, hey, she's on the same level as a Mercedes Moné, who is a fantastic in-ring performer. So, and this was also, again, just like I said, to remind everybody about Mercedes. That, hey, just in case you forgot and you got sick of hearing her on the mic, here's what she can really do in the ring. So it all depends. Do I want an incredibly long Ricochet and Takeshita match? Not necessarily. But spoiler alert for when we get to that. But again, it depends on what the outcome is going to be. Because so it's a coin toss.
All right, well, like Jug said, Mercedes Moné wins. She gets the dub, and that was it. There was no Camille interference. Like, I know she told Camille to stay in the back. She did. There was nothing. There was no new woman.
Camille.
And it happened all of a sudden. Like, why did all of a sudden she just start turning on Camille like that? But whatever. But that was it. Mercedes wins. And it was just like, okay, this is over. And it was like, oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, getting into the first match that really woke me up, that I kind of gave a damn. We got the Switchblade, Jay White, Guns Up, versus the Hangman Adam Page, and this was a grudge match because crazy ass Hangman doing crazy ass Hangman things, and you know what, he hasn't beat Jay White yet, or it's been forever since he beat.
He's
Jay
only
White?
beat him one time.
There you go.
Right now, it's 5-1,
and these two had a pretty decent, fantastic match.
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate the fact that it really didn't need to be on pay-per-view. I see why it was, because of the whole rivalry aspect of it, and you know they really need both. They really need to do something with both of these men, since you know once again this whole stop and start and booking that they're doing in AEW. But I really do love how Switchblade hit that damn Blade Runner out of nowhere to get that dub. And I can appreciate after he won, he's standing over, in Hangman's face, like, hey, say you crazy bastard. That's 5 over you, Playboy. 5. What you gonna do now? I got 5 over you. What?
See, I gotta say this, like the result of the match, like I was surprised, like that.
I was,
you know, Jay White has got like basically gotten 5 over him, and got two pay-per-views back to back. I thought, you know, maybe they were going to split and then maybe do a match at World's End, but maybe they have both of them in the Continental Classic or something like that. Maybe that's why. Maybe they both, you know.
No. I refuse that y'all have this balloon ass roster, and when you don't know what to do with people, throw them in a tournament. No.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Figure it the fuck out, because that is unfair to people like Switchblade, who get start and stop. Mm-hmm. Hangman burned down a man's fucking house, and look at what's happening.
But then again, like what we saw at the end of the night, I don't know. So maybe he's not in the. Maybe these guys aren't in the tournament.
I'm just saying, but to your credit, it could also be a thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know. Like I said, this booking is very
on that roster.
Like I said, this booking is very inconsistent. You know, like you think they're going in a certain direction, and Tony Khan goes like, "Nah, we changing it here." Like you just don't know what Tony Khan's gonna go with on a day-to-day basis.
He's just a step ahead of us at all times, you know.
I mean,
I just don't get why this match even occurred. Like, why? Both of these
Hangman
guys
is crazy. He's a crazy son of a bitch. That's what
he's going through his wild girl phase.
Both of them needed a win for one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They do,
because you can't, like, Hangman was in a blood feud, went to the Extreme, won the match,
and nothing.
And then after that, you just
like I say, like you said, start and stop. That's what it is.
Yes. And then Jay White comes back. Now, granted, rightful win over Hangman. I don't think that was the right call, because I don't think that should have been the match. Just like I don't think that this should have been the match. I'm gonna get to that part in the end, because there's a lot of things you can do with a lot of people in this roster, and it's just this roster has not been fleshed out the way that it should be, the way that it used to be, and it annoys me.
They bring in a lot of these ex WWE people. Okay, so they lose like their first match, and then bam, you don't see them for a few weeks, and then they end up like on Collision or Rampage, and then they don't do nothing with them. And it's like,
no, you know how they treat this roster? They treat this roster like their goddamn ranking system.
Absolutely. The ranking system is absolutely,
because it was here, it seemed cool, it left, and then all of a sudden it came back for a split second and then disappeared again.
Yeah.
Man,
inconsistency.
I'm you know what? I'm just gonna.
You know what?
The sad thing is that the ranking system actually should be a helpful way to control the way your storytelling goes too, and kind of make it
You think
easier
it would
for
be,
you.
but
Facts.
Tony Khan doesn't understand.
So, like, how are you having a harder time? Like, the ranking system's going to tell you, okay, well, now we got to come up with some kind of a storyline between these characters because this person's going to obviously want the belt. Or, like, are they going to get screwed over by the number 3 to become the new number 2? Like, it's...
Well, you know what?
It's not
Jaeger,
that hard of... Yeah, it's not
you
that
know
hard
what? We're going to put a pin in that, and we're going to get to it after we talk about the main event. Because I have some things to piggyback off of what you said with the ranking system and the people, especially Switchblade, Jay White, and dealing with the main event scene and everything too. But
all right,
I'm pretty sure I can possibly speak for everybody here. Maybe, but arguably the best match of the night: Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and you know this started because Kyle Fletcher was like, "Hey yo, I don't want to be like you no more, Will. I'm fully joining the Dunn Callis family 100%, and we're not doing this no more, Ospreay." Yes. Arguably the best match of the night.
Yeah, I love the finish. I love the finish of this match.
Yes, actually.
I honestly thought Will was going to take it, but I'm not mad at Fletcher getting the dub.
There was no question, and you couldn't convince me that Ospreay was going to take the win on this because you have basically his best friend who is now getting his own push. You can't tell me that Ospreay was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give you this, man, so that way you can go ahead.
That makes sense.
Ospreay's already done. Ospreay's untouchable right now. Ospreay can't do anything wrong. He's probably one of the only people on this roster that can't be booked bad with any repercussions. Like, he can have a bad booking, but he'll be A-okay.
Yeah. Well, it's because Ospreay's charismatic. Ospreay's a charismatic guy.
Yeah.
You know, I thought these guys were damn near going to kill each other in this match. Like, with all the spots that were pulling out, like this was definitely a spot. This was a spot heavy match, like especially that ending. Like with
that's Ospreay for you, though.
Well, Jugs, you also got to remember, friends tend to lay it on kind of thick.
They try to more with the more dangerous bit.
It's a little more danger when you're wrestling your friend than compared to, especially if you're wrestling like your best friend.
Shout out
and
to
things
Tommaso.
Of that nature. Shout out to Tommaso and Johnny. Shout out to and HBK. Shout out to the New Day and the Usos. You know, when you truly wrestle your friends like that, it gets real. It can get real. So yeah, but arguably the best match. If anything, I'll say to seek out, definitely this match right here. Now, the next match, I'm gonna do something uncharacteristic, and I'm gonna just do a little ISO. I'm gonna just do a quick little ISO right quick. All right, this next match, it was for the TNT Championship of Jack Perry. Actually, no, wait. Rewind. My bad. Hold on. Rewind. Let me exit solo. The Champagne Championship celebration was next.
I actually really enjoyed it.
Prime material.
I didn't really see shit of this, so go ahead, take it away.
This was a different change in pace. You know, I like how they were showing some video packages last night on the pay-per-view, because you know, not every single pay-per-view, like some pay-per-views might get bad video packages, some pay-per-views might not. You just never know. Like I said, very inconsistency with AEW. But hey, I was enjoying this for the most part. You know, they were celebrating, they were doing the dancing, you know.
This was just these two ladies shaking their tits around and a weird attempt at some kind of betrayal, and I thought was almost like a flop bump because they broke the table that they slid onto, which made me think that was the primary table to land on, and they may have landed on like an equipment box, and that must not have felt great.
Yeah, it was a clean slide throw into that table.
And then
because I didn't see it. Like I said, I didn't get the chance to see it. So
I think one of them lost her tooth in this process of
Mina?
this like whole.
It looks like
Yeah.
Yeah, she lost her tooth. Like her mouth was bleeding. Like, oh damn.
She was chewing on a blood cap.
And then she freaking
Yeah.
looked like it.
And then she like licked Mariah
Wiped her
May's face.
mouth on Mariah. Yeah.
Like that, you sick fuck. She's a sick fuck. Okay, she is definitely sick.
Well, looks like we know who Mariah May's next challenge is gonna be. Is gonna be her bestie.
Yeah.
Once again, besties. I wouldn't be surprised if Mariah and Mina lay into each other. You know,
which I'm fine with, but this Mariah May,
I still have not seen what makes her so special.
Why?
I'm sorry.
I'm kind of confused on why this happened. Like, why this should turn on her right now? Like, what's the point of this? Like,
what? Wait, what's the point of what?
Like, why did Mina turn on her right now? Like, I just don't really understand.
Well,
Wait,
Mina didn't. Mariah turned on her.
I mean, no, Mariah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mariah
I mean, the same reason why she turned on Tony after she won the Owen. It was just like, okay, I guess she wants to just be to where it's just me. You know, the glamour is all just me.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this is my controversial take before we get into this. Mercedes and Mariah are in the wrong spots.
You think Mercedes should be the AEW
world champion? Yes, with doing the thing she's doing, while Mariah should be the TBS champion doing the thing she's doing. That's just my controversial opinion.
Well,
but I think they're in the wrong spots, personally.
Matter of fact, when is Grand Slam?
It's in February.
Isn't Grand Slam isn't that
it's
the
gonna
one
be in Australia? Yeah, it's gonna be in February.
Okay. See, this is the problem that I have, because I don't want to have to sit through a Mariah May or title reign all the way up until February.
Oh, it's happening, big dogs. Go ahead and just.
I think it's gonna happen, bro.
Because what, Grand Slam was what, February 15th or something like that?
Yeah, the day after Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so you gonna have to go ahead. Yep, because Saturday, February 15th. Yep. So yeah, you're gonna have to go ahead and just buckle in.
Ugh,
but so shout out to my brother T.A.G B. He was talking about how he's a fan of Mariah because of the stuff she's seen. I haven't done the research and science to go back and look at previous Mariah things. If I'm looking at her presentation of since she's been in AEW, I don't see it.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't see it.
Everybody can look good outside of AEW, but if they get there, just like the same thing with Mercedes, and you allow certain things to happen, then you pretty much just dilute everything that was good about them previously.
Also, this women's division has been booked like shit. Like,
man,
dumpster juice.
And that's funny because that our very first, when we were doing this on the audio podcast, our first show was
booked in the women's division.
The issue with the booking of the women's division in AEW.
And see, it got better for a little while, and then it gets worse, and then it gets better for a little bit. It's like I said, the inconsistency with AEW. TK, I hope TK needs to be listening to our podcast. You know, like, we want to see AEW do good. We want to see, you know, the alternative to WWE do good.
I'm almost certain that TK listens to everybody's podcast.
But yeah, exactly. But like this kind of looks like early 2000s WCW right now. This is what it's looking like.
Oh no! Oh, I've been saying that this has been a mixture of WCW and Impact when Hogan joined.
Yeah.
This has been all of that.
It's crazy because I barely remember the women's division during that time in Impact. I barely remember it. Oof.
Because it was damn near not existing. But that was the championship. Well, sorry, the champagne celebration. But now I'm gonna get to this ISO right quick because I gotta address something. The next match on the card, the TNT Championship of the Scapegoat Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia. Look here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get the mic. Look here.
Oh, he's getting the microphone. It's the game.
Look, I'm gonna borrow some things from Vince Staples when he was on the Joe Budden podcast. Jack Perry, you are a good boy. Your mama raised a good boy. You are a bitch. Just be a bitch. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with being a bitch. And I'm not discounting your wrestling skills. I'm just counting your presentation. You have the least amount of aura as a villain I have ever seen in my wrestling watching life.
God damn.
Nothing you've done as a bad guy has seen the best thing you done as a bad guy was that championship, right?
I knew you were about to say that.
That's the best thing you have done. Go back to Jungle Boy. At least I enjoyed Jungle Boy. And you riding on Luchasaurus. At least I enjoyed that.
Wow.
But this with the beard and trying to be cool and all, you have no aura as a heel. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I really do not see it for you as a heel.
No.
You are one of the worst heels. You are the guy who is trying to be cool, and I do not like any of this. Nothing you done as a heel was making me like, damn, Jack Perry is actually kind of cool. You have been the first person. You know how they be having them stats? You are the one heel that has been the worst good guy turned heel. Everybody else who's turned heel had a coolness factor to him, except you.
I agree.
Wow.
Damn.
And I have a feeling you're not going to be in that category by yourself, because I'm just speaking for now, and I can go back and resend this. Platinum Max Caster. You're going to be in that same boat with Jack Perry. You, sir. No. You need to stick with Bowens. Bowens has the charisma and the aura. Sorry, Platinum. You're going to be in that same boat with Jack Perry.
He didn't get to do a rap, bro.
Unless the Hurt Syndicate makes you look cool as shit.
Which they will.
That's going to be the only thing that's going to save you.
I'm going to shave off that mustache.
Jack Perry, you had Okada, who turned heel and was excellent. Oh, I'm sorry, bitch. You had the fucking Young Bucks who went, and everybody knows my complicated relationship with Matthew and Nicholas. And you, sir, no, I'm so sorry. I would have cut Full Gear off if you would have retained that championship. I am so fucking glad Daniel Garcia took that championship off you, big dog.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in
the same boat. You need to go back to Jungle Man, and I don't know if you still with Anna Jay or not. You need to go back to gripping leather.
Jungle Boy.
Because this, hold on. Because that right there, now you are a good boy. Your mama raised a good boy.
It's good that he dropped the title. That's good.
Your mama raised a good boy.
Wow.
Rest in peace to Luke. But that right there, no, that ain't you, big dog.
We need
that ain't you.
End of my rant. If y'all got anything else to say, go ahead. But I've been wanting to get that off my chest for so fucking long.
See, you know what ruined? You know what's ruined?
Ashley has heard me rant about Jack Perry for the last like 3 months.
See, you know what ruined Jack Perry's heel run is when they showed that footage of the brawl out with.
You are a bitch. Like I just said, you are a bitch. It's fine to be a bitch. Everybody has been a bitch at some point in their life. It is fine to be a bitch. I promise you. But this right here, your whole aura, trash. Trash.
Yeah, he has no aura about him. Yeah, I
no aura whatsoever. He got a fucking little school bus and shit driving it around the streets. Fuck that damn bus. Fuck that shit. Daniel Garcia punked you, fam. Him and Daddy Magic tied you up to your own shit driving around the streets.
Damn.
They did the shit you were supposed to do. They were the good guys in this situation.
And
they kidnapped you. I am so glad that belt is up off you, fam. So glad. Okay,
And
now
I do have to say one thing I liked about Jack Perry's run with the title belt was that it was a whole new different design. That's the only thing I really liked about it.
That's it.
It was pretty
That's
cool.
it.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength with you, Scoop. Yeah.
Dizzle, Jaeger, y'all got anything?
I'm just gonna say
I know I went off on a
congrats.
tangent.
You're good. I'm just gonna say congrats to Garcia. It's about time.
Yeah,
It's about time.
Definitely.
It is. I know I predicted Perry, but I am happy that Garcia took that.
Which also, Garcia, let's make sure that belt stays the way that it is. Just throwing it out there.
You know he's gonna change it.
He's gonna change it back to the
He's
original.
gonna change it back. He's gonna have to change it back.
I mean, he's gonna have to. If anything, he might give it some Buffalo Bills color. Sorry, Jug. Sorry, I know that still stings. I know it stings. He might give it some Buffalo Bills.
About the Buffalo Bills, they can beat us in the regular season, but they won't beat us in the playoffs.
That is also true too. But he might give us some Buffalo Bills colors or something since he is from Buff. But other than that, yeah. But okay, match. Garcia won. That was the good part. Go back to Jungle Boy.
Go back to waving your hands.
Go back to Jungle Boy. Next match of the night for the International Championship, we got that boy Konosuke Takeshita taking on Ricochet. I will say this.
Yeah.
And I mean this with a whole heart. I didn't know Takesha's resume, but when I tell you that man has won me over, I am a fan of Takesha. I am a fan.
Fair.
Me too. Yeah, I am
a fan. Hey, Takesha, I know, and it's gonna just like how Dizzle gave a shout out to Stokely.
Go ahead.
I can appreciate the fact that Don Callis is doing what he's doing.
Whoa. Uncle Callis, bro.
Sorry. I can appreciate Uncle Callis's presentation of you. He makes you look like a badass. Even when you speak, you ain't even gotta say much because you got that same aura like Shinsuke. Because when Shinsuke be talking, whether it's in English or Japanese, you'd be like, I think that motherfucker gonna kill me. But this is the one time that I will give Uncle Callis his props. And all of that, because his presentation of you, chef's kiss. But
now you see,
talk on it. Y'all gonna talk on it.
All of these predictions, easily I'm sliding to Takeshita every single time. This is why.
Yeah, he's been tearing it up as of late. Takeshita, like I love his whole character that is going on right now. Hey, now I listen to the Jim Cornette podcast sometimes. You know what he calls Takeshita?
Take a shit.
Yeah, take a shit or something like that. take like
I kind of figured.
Like, I mean, he doesn't like half of this roster. If you brought Jim Cornette in, he will fire most of the roster.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like I was listening to him recap. What was the last pay-per-view? Wrestle Dream. I was listening to him recap that, and he didn't like most of that show. And it's like, yeah, I understand that Jim Cornette's like an old head, but like, damn. His podcast is pretty entertaining to listen to. Even
it's been a while since I listened to it, but yeah,
my buddy, he's a big fan of listening to Jim Cornette's podcast, and we were going to Collision one night, and we were listening to the recap of that, and it was hilarious.
That boy's stuck in his ways, man.
Yeah,
I will say this, and this may be controversial too, and I don't care who feelings I hurt. I don't care if there's a response or whatever. Hey, Ricochet, this what you really wanted, big dog? I'm gonna just leave it at that.
All right. Well, it's okay. I'll
a lot.
I'll respond for that because this is probably the only time that AEW is actually doing something right. And like now, granted, this is me speculating because I think I see where things are going. You put Ricochet in this match after him getting the card from MVP. You have him lose with a little bit of shenanigans from Don Callis and stuff like that, and then you have MVP talk to him, being like, hey, if you would have had some backup, this wouldn't have been a problem. But you realize, their strength in numbers, whatever. Look, Ricochet's already been walking around wearing a suit.
That is true.
He perfectly fine. Yeah, and I said this when he first debuted. I was like, he wearing black and gold, I think. But I was saying that I think it would be him and Swerve that would go to the Hurt Syndicate. Swerve was still questionable, but I was for sure Ricochet is going to be slotted in going to the Hurt Syndicate for sure.
Okay.
And I think this is one of the pathways for him actually seeing the light, because again, like I said earlier, promo game, Ricochet has gotten better because since he's gotten AEW, the way he's been talking, man, he's been a lot better than he was in WWE. However,
still a little rocky.
Putting him with MVP, where he doesn't have to talk much, like Shelton doesn't have to talk too much, or Lashley doesn't have to talk too much. You slot him and Shelton in a tag team, give them the belts right away. Clean up Private Party, throw them out, put the titles on Ricochet and Shelton Benjamin. Done.
Okay.
Done.
I can see that. This may be a revisit, but I'm just saying as of now.
Yeah. If it doesn't happen, then I'm on Scoot and I'm saying, this is where you want to go. This is where you want to go.
Jaeger, Judge, I got anything else to say about Ricochet and Takeshita?
I mean, it was a good match. I mean, Ricochet, he got a lot of offense in this match, but ultimately, he came up, ended up short here. Takeshita looked really good too. This was like one of the best matches of the night, maybe behind the Kyle Fletcher and Ospreay match? Yeah, Ospreay match. Yeah, it's like one of the best matches of the night. One of your better matches of the night. It actually had some story to it as well, so it was good.
I had originally picked Ricochet to win this, but I don't know. I thought he was maybe due to maybe have the belt and then have Ospreay start challenging him for it then, but we'll see what happens.
To be honest, I'm going to say this. I think Ricochet should have stayed in WWE. He
that was kind of my comment. I didn't want to fully say it that way.
Because he could have been feuding with who did he end? Was it with Braun Breaker? He could have been feuding with. He could still be feuding with Braun Breaker. Who knows? He could be U.S. champion by now. He could be.
I mean,
if he would have stayed around.
Look, people do what they do for reasons that Hey,
we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. Yeah, exactly.
Your next match, speaking of the Hurt Syndicate, you had whose house? Swerve's
house.
You had Swerve Strickland going against the muscle, the do you want to say the leader of the Hurt Syndicate, Big Bobby Lashley. Big Bobbo.
Big Bobby Lashley.
All right, fellas, how we feeling? How we feeling about Swerve versus Lashley?
This was fucking short.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't tripping.
Yeah, this was, this kind of reminded me of. It's kind of reminded me. I think it was that Brock Lesnar and Cena match from 2014. Like, it seems like Swerve, he just got really dominated in this match. I don't know. Maybe that was only me. It seemed like that SummerSlam match. And to be honest,
you got to make Bobby look like Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got to make him look dominant. You got to make him look like that he's that guy that what was his name? Walking Armageddon when he was in TNA. You know what I'm saying? You got to make him look just like he's gonna put the hurt on you. No pun intended.
Then build him as a strong individual. Don't build him as if Swerve, who we all know is a calculating or really let's go with smart character build is just straight up getting dominated. Like, oh, he had no chance here. Like,
and to be honest, I
they
didn't
at
want to
least
see
should have
Bobby
portrayed
Lashley.
him having some kind of a plan.
I didn't want to see Bobby Lashley do like a long match as well. Like, especially with his age that he's at right now. Like,
that's fair.
I didn't want to see him do like a 25-minute match with Swerve. Like, hey, handle your business with him. Do quick. Yeah, Loki agrees with me. Yeah, I appreciate Loki.
How old is Big Bobo?
No, Bobby can go though. Bobby.
I mean, he can go.
He's absolutely
Bobby though.
Fantastic in shape.
Yeah, he's 48.
Oh, he's still good.
Yeah, he's 48.
I think this went the way that I assumed that it was going to go. However, because my question is more to you, Scoot. You're the only person that picked Swerve to win. Why?
I figured with all of his cunningness, like Jug said, that he was going to find. I mean, didn't we not just see Mercedes just pull a bullshit dub over Stat? Maybe Swerve might have kind of did like, while he did the hurt
but I
lock.
picked my name, man.
The typical, I'm doing the hurt lock. Swerve kicks off the ropes. He pins Bobby while Bobby's still doing it. Well, I don't know if it's still called the hurt. I don't know what the fuck the new name of the full Nelson is going to be, but I thought Swerve was going to pull some sneaky way out to win. I didn't think he was going to just flat out beat Bobby. I thought it was going to be because, the full Nelson, he rolls up. Bobby still has it locked on with his shoulders being pinned type of dub. Like, not just a flat out, oh, damn, he just straight beat Bobby. Nah, it was going to be some type of shenanigans. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm not faulting you for that.
Yeah, that was the only reason why.
And I feel like
Swerve,
he's going to need to get some backup when he's going against, the Hurt Syndicate. He's going to need what I would love to see? Like a Swerve Strickland faction going up against the Hurt Syndicate and like a blood and guts type of match.
The problem is, and this is the issue, if they're going to give Swerve another faction, make it make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
This time around.
None of that mogul embassy stupid shit. Like that was
it make sense.
I don't understand why there was that to begin with.
It made sense for him when he was a heel. I mean, I still thought they were stupid, but I got it, Yeah, but the whole after the whole face turn and them still being there, that's what was like, why? But yeah, I digress.
No, I'm just like, you know what? Leave Prince Nana. Everything else can
go. Basically, leave Nana. Everything else can go. All right. And for your main event of the evening for the AEW World Championship, you had Mox with his Death Riders versus Orange Cassidy. Now, the least I say about this match personally, the better. So I'll let y'all take it.
I love the optics of this match. Everything looked good, like the way it started. I love the fact that Cassidy, was the aggressor in the very beginning with his orange punches and everything. Before they even got to finish announcing, he was just like on it, cool. And then got a little color in the match. Enjoyed that. It was good for Mox's character. My only problem that throws me off with this match is the not knowing where everything is supposed to be going. Like I get that there is some mystique to everything. Like that's cool. But it's to the point now where I feel that something of significance should have been explained by now. the fact that they're still carrying around the briefcase with the title in it.
Yeah, why is the title still in that briefcase? I do not understand.
Yeah, that
and
doesn't make
Orange
any sense.
Cassidy said that if he would have won, he would have put the title in his backpack. Like, why do you keep the title, hidden? Like, I just don't understand.
So,
where is the belt? That's the question.
Where is the belt? It's like,
so,
where is Waldo?
And then with all of that too, it's what's the motive here? I mean, I have come up with my own theory, as far as not necessarily storyline, but what the baseline motive is for the direction of the company, and that's to build up, everybody that was overshadowed by everybody else kind of coming in. That's why you see, Cassidy getting back. That's why you see Daniel Garcia finally winning the championship. Private Party. You see everything going in a certain direction where it's like, okay, there seems to be a course correction. Correct. That's right. But it seems to be a course correction because of how they've seen the direction of how everything's going now. And so now there's like, okay, we got to find a way to fix this so that way we can start highlighting the people that were here at the beginning. So that's cool. However, what's supposed to be the end game outside of Darby potentially being the person that's going to dethrone Moxley, which, and I'll get to Darby when we get to that god awful confusing ass post match stuff, but
that was so fucking confusing, dude. Like, I'm so confused about it.
But here's the only thing that makes sense to me is, what, I'll wait. Just the match was what it was for me. I'll let y'all talk about the match.
I'm gonna say this, and I truly mean this. Coming from the aspect of we've seen many factions that kind of did a takeover type thing. We've seen the NWO, and we've seen what NWO did. We've seen what happened with Retribution.
Yeah.
We've seen what happened with Aces and Eights in TNA.
We're still mad about that.
What happened with the Nexus?
We've seen what happened with the Nexus. Thank you, because I forgot about Nexus. They would have
been a great faction if Cena never did what he did. But
we saw what happened with the Bloodline and what's happening with the Bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing what's happening with the Death Riders. They need to figure out what they're doing, because otherwise the Death Riders is truly going to look like Retribution 2.0. And I mean that with a whole heart. The only thing that's going to make the Death Riders different is because you have the coolness of Mox, Pac, Claudio, and I guess you can say Wheeler. But even
the way he just came in there.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that running knee he hit on Cassidy was crisp though. I was like, God,
that was just
damn.
like, ooh.
And hell, they even got Marina Shafir looking like a badass. Not saying that she isn't, but they even got her. But the way this storyline is playing out, and the way it started to where it is now, it's like something went wrong already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what is this end game with the Death Riders here? Because they made it seem like they want to quote unquote take over the company and do these things, and now they went from beating up half the roster, and it's just like, well, what's happening now?
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's gonna lose steam with me if something don't happen quick.
Now, I will say this: the only thing that was done right about this match, outside of the optics and how everything looked during the match, and Yuta's crisp ass running knee,
crisp.
The only thing that made sense to me, and that has been making sense this entire time, anytime it revolves around the championship, is Christian.
Yes, the Father of the Year. I was about to mention that. Yes,
Turtleneck God.
Christian Cage. I was saying, I hope he comes out and cashes in right now. I hope he cashes in his title shot.
Oh no, I don't need him to cash it in at all. I mean, he will at some point, but
Yeah, against Darby Allin, he will.
I definitely didn't need it to happen. Last night. However, and this is why I talked about Christian being just fantastic at what he does, is because just him showing up without doing much of anything shows just how over he is.
Yep.
Over somebody who is just as untouchable, like I said about Ospreay, as a Moxley. Moxley is that go-to guy for AEW. That's why he has the most world title reigns in AEW.
And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Christian can easily go in there, have another title reign, and nobody will shake a stick at it and say, you know what? Why are they wasting time on it? No. He is probably the one person who is probably the best booked person in AEW, and it's probably due to just him.
Yes.
And you have Chris Jericho there.
Hey, let us not speak on Christopher.
Now,
I'm so glad Christopher was not on this card.
Now the confusing part was Hangman coming out there, because it was like, what? Why? What's going on here?
And that's what I was going to get to.
And then we had Jay White coming out.
But the thing is,
Jaeger to put a pin. That's why I told you this was.
But the thing is, like, when Christian, when Christian came out, I was like, oh, maybe something's happened. Maybe they got something because they teamed up. Maybe they got something that's established. But that wasn't the case. I mean, I did see the fact that when they had that conversation, he was like, I'll give you your title shot. All right, I can live with that. But my whole thing was the fact that it just seemed weird. And then the Jay White stuff happened, and I was like, okay, well, this kind of makes sense for him to attack Hangman because he got attacked. All right, cool. But then the Death Riders attack Jay White. And then
And then at the end, when they're trying to escape Darby Allin, when he comes flying in with that.
With the fucking car.
Well, hold up. Not even that. The fact that Jay White got up and walked off like he was all happy, like he was just, he had to have the chair, hold up, bang, bang, and just walked off. Like you're not going to be mad that you just got jumped from behind? You just going to walk off all cool?
I feel like we're building up towards, I don't know, this is what I feel like we're building towards Moxley and Jay White at World's End.
No, we're not. It's going to be Moxley and Darby at World.
Right.
This is why I said no. This is why I wanted to put a pin in what Yeager was saying. Khan does not know how to book main event scene. This is the issue. And I hate bringing up the counterpart, but we have to do it.
It's like Tony Khan's throwing so much shit at the wall, seeing if it sticks.
It's not even that. The problem is he's hyper focused on what's happening. Look at what's happening in WWE. And once again, I hate that I'm bringing it up. We know this whole bloodline versus bloodline saga is happening, but guess what? Cody versus KO is still important. Gunther versus Damian Priest is still important. And we're not going to even speak of what WWE is doing with the women's division, because then that's going to really be, kicking a man while they down. The problem is with AEW, you have this Moxley versus Cassidy situation. And then, yes, you have the insert of Darby Allin trying to get his revenge. In all honesty, watching this card and watching what's been happening on Collision and Rampage, who truly seems like they next up?
That's
exactly.
That is a good point.
Who looks like? Because I kind of just said what I think is going to happen. Darby might be Moxley for the belt, and Christian's probably going to be like, "Hey, yo, Darbs, I'm only going to let you celebrate for 2 minutes, big dog. 2 minutes, because this belt is mine." The crowd's going to go stupid. But for the most part, I don't understand, in a company that has Swerve, Jay White, Hangman, and a litany of others, none of them seem like title contenders. Nobody.
You know what?
can make
And
that
this is all
suit.
pun. It's all pun intended. This is all a big car wreck. That's what this is.
Because if you look at every championship that's happening right now, MJF don't seem like a title contender to shit. Cole don't seem like a title contender. Hell, after this whole Takesha and Ricochet, who's next up for their international championship? Okada hadn't defended that damn Continental Championship. He has to wait on after this damn tournament to figure out who he's going to defend against or whatever hell is going to play out. AEW has a shitty job with booking who's next. Because y'all said it best. Who's the next tag team now? You done just beat Outrunners, Acclaim, and Kings of the Black Throne. Who's the next tag team up? What, FTR again?
Yeah, clearly.
Who's next up to Daniel Garcia? Now that he has the belt now, what they might run back him and Jack Perry. AEW does a horrendous job at booking who's next up.
Yeah. I kind of see that.
Because
you think they're going with one direction, like I said. You think they're going in one direction. Going, oh no, Jay White comes out. Oh, maybe it might be him. Oh no, Hangman comes out. What's Hangman doing out here? And then Darby comes out, smashes the car. Like it's this. You got so many things going on. Like you got this big picture, and then you shrink it down. Look at a microscope, and it's like so much everything's going on. This is wild,
crazy.
Because as of right now, if we're really being honest, the way this whole Death Rider thing is looking, it honestly feels like Moxley is holding the belt hostage. It was better off still being with Bryan Danielson. Sorry,
yeah.
Technically, he is holding the belt hostage.
I mean, you're right. Storyline, yes, you are right. But once again, nobody right now looks like the person that's going to dethrone Mox, other than maybe Darby, only because he keeps little bro and Darby. And I'm also going to get this little other rant off because I've been holding this bullet in the chamber too.
You're probably going to say the same thing that I was going to say.
Oh no, it's probably not. I'm going to go back to the graphics.
Oh,
this man right here to the right. The reason why I keep having to start and stop feeling against Orange Cassidy, him and his gimmick shit that he does. You been seeing your friends, your family been getting stomped out, and you still want to throw your little gimmick kicks?
You want to throw your hands in your pocket?
You still want to put your little hands in your pocket? I understand that's your gimmick. That's your blase.
Bro should have been livid. You shouldn't have seen any of that.
Orange Cassidy confuses me as a fucking wrestler. Because like you said, how you start the match, orange punches. You even hit Moxley with like 5 of them bitches in a row. But then later on in the match, I am so sick of Orange Cassidy and his fucking gimmick. I really am.
Yeah.
I've been holding that one in the chamber a little long too, other than Jack Perry. Orange Cassidy, I can get behind him at times, and other times it's just like, you know what? This is the reason why. This is the reason why I cannot fuck with Orange full time.
Okay.
I mean, there's times where Orange Cassidy, he turns it on. He's actually
but he still turns it on, but still doing his dumb gimmick shit in the process.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand that. Like,
they forced you, in essence, to be in this role. And like Jaeger just said, you should have been livid. This should have been the one match where everybody would have been like, oh shit. Cause look, he's wearing different color scheme.
He's wearing all black.
He should have been just like a monster against Moxley. They would have been like, wait, this ain't the same Orange Cassidy.
He should have been doing orange punches until Moxley stopped him.
Like, wait, he ain't got the hands in the pocket.
He should have done
he's not doing his gimmick kicks that he does.
He should have been just literally,
instead of the gimmick kicks, he should have been actually, like chopping him down with the kicks to where there's an actual recoil. Yeah.
Nah, bro. He should have went out there with pocketless pants
Thank you. Thank you.
Jeggings, yes.
Thank you. No pockets. But no, he still wanted to come out there.
You know what? He should have
And
came
all
out with a
that-
whole
fuck
new
all
different attire on. He should have came out with some like different tights on. You know, he should have been looking different.
But go ahead, Dizzle. You said you had something you wanted.
Yeah. It's actually the perfect segue because speaking of motherfuckers going so hard on their gimmicks, Darby. We had a conversation when we did that damn tier list.
Yeah,
about you doing stuff.
Darbs.
I'm all cool, you know, with the whole you want to go ahead and T-bone something with the car, cool, whatever. The fact that you rammed that car so hard into that truck that you came out and injured yourself, and you were visibly out of it because of how hard you probably hit your head. Darby. Sir, and I'm using Scoot's terms, sir, you need to calm the fuck down.
Please
you comment the fuck it.
Because if you supposed to have a match at World's End, you going this hard against the Death Riders, you ain't gonna make it, and that's due to your own accordance, my friend.
I mean, Darby, he got hit by a bus. I mean, you know, he's gonna go to the.
Yeah, there's that.
Look, stop.
He needs to stop.
Sting ain't here to watch you. Steve Borden can't come out the woodwork and be like, "Hey, Darby, chill." So I'm gonna tell you,
chill, bro, chill.
Stop, man.
Please
stop.
Before you kill yourself. Before
just like how see I can appreciate when real world shit happens and people take real world shit at times and make it a fact. I can appreciate when Switchblade was like, "Hey Darby, I saved your life when I broke your foot because you would have died climbing that mountain, so I saved your life." This shit right here, this whole really truly Daredevil, I'm going crazy shit, it's starting to be like, what was the tier list? I'm delusional for the fans. No, fuck all of that. Yeah. You need to start worrying about Darby Allin now.
Yeah,
him and Cassie should have switched intensities.
Yes.
You should have calmed it down, and Cassie should have turned it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not gonna tell y'all, when I tell y'all I was over that match when Cassidy was still doing his little gimmick shit, and it's like, fam, he quote unquote crippled your best friend. He's been running. Him and his Death Riders have been running crazy all over the company. Wednesday fucking night, they duct taped your hands while it was in your pockets. They duct taped you, beat the shit out of you, and you still threw your gimmick kicks. What the fuck is happening? Like, seriously, like, I get it. I've been a wrestling fan long enough. I get gimmicks. I get what makes the crowd go. But there are times when we see wrestlers drop who they are and have a match. This would have been the time to do that. I promise you, nobody would have turned on Orange Cassidy if this was the match where he was like, fuck all the gimmick shit. I'm going after
people would have looked at him like, oh fuck, he's pissed.
There's no hands in the pocket. There's no gimmick kicks. There's no I'm from wherever, when, whatever. None of that shit. If he would have went in there and was like legit,
actually set a city and wait.
Nah.
Where's Orange Cassidy actually from?
This whole pay-per-view, damn, it was just shit. I was so fucking I'm telling you, I was so fucking frustrated because this would have been the time for him to just been like, nah, I'm going in. But nope, He still had
Especially when
to do
he
the
said
gimmick.
to like all of his companions, don't come out with me. I'm gonna handle this by myself.
He's from Sturtsville, New Jersey.
Yep, and he weighs 161 pounds.
They should. That would have made him seem more serious if Justin Roberts. They switched.
But when I tell
Roberts.
you that this probably, as of now, and this is just me, I know this has truly turned me off from Orange Cassidy for a while. I'm over. I'm over Orange.
Too committed to his gimmick.
Too committed. I'm over Orange. I was like, all right, you got it. You really do got it. You really have it.
Yeah,
and we see this match so many times with Orange Cassidy and Moxley. It's like nothing is new with this. Nothing is new at all.
You know what? Fuck it. Rant's still happening. Thank you, Jugs, because I totally forgot. This is the man who beat the shit out of you and took your international championship. I totally forgot that shit.
Hey,
you have history.
You're welcome, Scoop.
You have history with Mox. You know what Mox is capable of. And you go do it. Man, look, I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and go before I fucking really lose it. I totally forgot about that.
That's all I want to
say. Not
to
piggyback off of Scoop, but yeah, this man's a source of trauma for a couple of points in your life, at least for your character.
Exactly. At least for your character.
You don't need to be so lackadaisical. You can be mad.
Get mad.
I want to see him get mad. I want to see him get mad.
Orange Cassidy should have turned into like Grapefruit Cassidy or Clementine.
Grapefruit Cassidy should have turned into
Tangerine Cassidy. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, this was a time to go fucking Super Saiyan, and you just was like, oh, I'm gonna still do the gimmick shit in the middle of the match and whatever. It's like, all right, I'm over it. I'm over it. So over it. But AEW Full Gear.
Yeah. It was what it was. Hopefully by the next AEW pay-per-view we get some course correction and a more better taste left in our mouths ending to it, I guess, for lack of a better term, because I just
that whole last little 10 minutes was just like chaotic as fuck.
Hopefully this World's End that we have coming up here, hopefully it's gonna be a lot better than last year's, because that ending from last year's show, oh brother, don't get me started with that. We might go into a rant from about last year's show.
But yeah, I guess we signing off.
Yeah, go ahead, champ. Yeah, you got it. You got it, champ. Go ahead and sign us off.
But yeah, like we always say, whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave all your comments, concerns, questions down below. If you also have had something to say about said show, please leave that down and go ahead and rant with us, because I'm pretty sure we are not the only ones that feel this way. So I'm going to go ahead first before I even get into the rest of the sign up and just warm this bad boy up, because it's been holding this title this whole time and I just feel like I need to get that too sweet off real quick with the good bada bam. Now, for those of you all listening, watching, make sure to tag that subscribe button, tag that notification bell, tag that like button, so that way we get all that nice little interaction and everybody can see that you're going ahead and helping us grow as a channel here. But as always, until you see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, we bid you all adieu. And until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful mother effers, tag the fucketh out.